Just a second, I'm sorry, we're going to have to go. Now, again, we have Vivian Teitelbaum, a Belgian Parliament member on the line. Ms. Teitelbaum, thanks for joining us. Now, we just heard essentially that everyone in Brussels has been instructed to stay inside, and specifically also EU workers were told to remain indoors. What can you tell us about the situation?
Okay, so for the moment, what we know is we had 2 explosions at the airport. We had 1 explosion in the underground in Brussels near the European Union quarters. So the Commission has been evacuated as well, and the central station has been evacuated. So at this point in time, the security level has been raised to 4. So this is close to a new lockdown. And indeed, everybody has been asked to stay inside. Restaurants in the neighborhoods where there have been explosions have been asked to close. So even now in the city of Charleroi, the underground is progressively being stopped.
And what do you imagine will happen after this? I mean, how will the authorities deal with the security situation? Will we see a lockdown extended for at least another week or 2 weeks? What we saw essentially after the terrorist attacks in November?
Yes, so we really don't know at this point. We expect the Prime Minister to make a statement in a few minutes, so we will know more about that. But for the we're trying to deal with this panic situation in Brussels because many people, even the phone network is really totally saturated. People are trying to call to see if families are okay, if children are okay. So it's a very difficult time. Even on the radio, some correspondents have difficulties to be joined when they want to make a report from the airport. So it's a difficult situation for the moment. So we have no idea of the perspective even in the next few hours, not to mention in the next few days.
Now, we were told earlier, a report from the authorities said that the airport attack was a suicide attack. Is this true? What can you tell us about this?
Well, for the moment, they're being very cautious. They're saying that the terrorist that the fact that it would be a terrorist attack is under investigation. But some sources said that they heard people yell in Arab before the explosion. So at this point, we don't have any other confirmation. Everybody is being very cautious, including concerning the number of deaths. It's been announced earlier this morning that there were at least 11 deaths. Now they talk about 1, but no one has confirmation. Some people said that they saw bodies projected in the air and falling down. So it's a little bit uncertain. There are no confirmations on that.
Now, I understand that there have been 23 killed. There is no confirmation about it being a suicide attack. We had various people talk to us earlier regarding the situation there, also from France, essentially coming relatively strongly against Belgium for being a hotbed, so to speak, of terrorism and sleeper cells. What is your reaction as a Belgian Parliament member?
Well, what I can tell you is that for many years now, we know that the situation is bad in some municipalities, and I don't think any parliamentarian can say that he didn't know that things were going bad and on the wrong track. So obviously, like in some areas of France, in Paris or London, things go out of hand, and it's today very difficult to control, obviously, but it's a situation where you had zones of where the police would not enter anymore. You had areas that were totally, homogeneous and closed, and this is why Abdeslam Salah could hide for so long as well. So we will have to face the reality, and unfortunately, in the last months, even after the attacks in Paris, many members of parliament of the left would not face reality and are still trying to look away from the situation. So I really think that there's a need here for some vigorous action, and fortunately I think the Prime Minister has been evaluating this at the right level. So hopefully now people will open their eyes. This morning, even in Parliament, I had to suspend a commission because of the events, and some members of the left that are usually very soft reacting to events were deeply shocked this morning, and so I think maybe this acted as a trigger, hopefully.
Vivian Teitelbaum, a Belgian Parliament member, thank you very much for joining us, giving us more information from Brussels.